Good morning, everybody. Well, it is a Saturday morning here, the end of another work week. It's been a very weak work week. We've had Joel has been out all week, and he's one of my lead masseons, and he's my right-hand man that helps me get tasks done. That I put him on point, and he kind of helps keep everybody going. And he's been out, but I hear that he's better. He finally went to the doctor, and he will be back with us on Monday. And don't worry, it doesn't have anything to do with the world pandemic. He actually got an infection, yeah, and he got medicines for it, and he's doing a whole lot better now. So then we've had rain, and we've been rained out of work quite a bit. It's the tropics. It happens. We took on some pretty strong winds and storms over the past days, and even yesterday they only got to work in the afternoon only, what they call half day. And so the progress has been slow. I'm not going to deny that, but for me, the rest has been appreciated. Big old mosquito on my arm, huge sucker. But for me, the rest has been appreciated. Being able just to have some downtime, my mind not just pumping on this project. And so that's been appreciated. You know, we're here to enjoy, to relax, and make this a happy time for this build. And if you just push yourself so hard constantly, the happiness part of it will start to fade away. I'm doing it for Mel and I to be happy and to build it at our pace. And there's not a rush. We have a roof over our head. We have an apartment down there in that garage that suffices us just fine. Really, maybe all we even needed. And we think about that, you know, maybe it's all we really needed. But nevertheless, we're here and we're committed to this, but we're gonna build it at our pace. And hey, we get rained out, we get rained out. If it takes another week to do something we thought we were gonna get done the previous week, so be it. I am gonna get busy here because in that section right there where you see those pipe parts laying there, and in the next section here behind it, between the beams here, that is our master bedroom area. And here in the back where you see a sanitary pipe come up and plugged off there, that area across this back is where our master bath, our master CR, and a walk-in closet are going. I'm going to start marking out and laying out exactly where that closet and that CR are going here on this floor, and start laying out the plumbing and get it roughed in, because it's going to soon be time that they're going to start tying all the steel grid on this floor. Actually, they could already be doing part of it. All right, well, I'm going to get busy here and I'll show you the progress as it comes along. Everybody, I want to introduce you to Mama Spider, Charlotte. We're going to change her name from Melinda to Charlotte. And this is Charlotte's web, because she's making a web all the way down the side of the property. Isn't that right, Charlotte? Mama Spider. Hey, can you answer me something?
I'm making a house for my babies. So.
Can I answer? Can I answer?
I'm gonna give them shelter.
Can you answer me something? Are you a black widow?
Not Black Widow yet.
We know you're not a recluse.
It's a brown recluse.
No, because you're not recluse at all. So I think it's probably a black widow. They say that a black widow kills the male after she's done.
Well,
That's why they call her a black widow.
well, I'm not done yet. So
You're not done yet. Oh my goodness. So I have been upstairs mapping out plumbing, looking if I want to make any adjustments, and the guys here are forming up. And meanwhile, Ammon's making the sides for the form, and he's about to build all the bottom and the deck underneath there. He's had the water level. You can see it laying down here now. getting all of his marks made on the bamboo, preparing for all of his cuts. It's a cloudy but muggy day. Air is just soupy, absolutely soupy, just really thick with moisture. Um, you know, I told you all that the reason I poured all of this concrete around the base of the house and went ahead and put all of our patios, sidewalk, put the tank in the ground right here. Tankzilla's down there resting right now. Don't wake up the beast. And I told you it's so I could support all of this bamboo on here, right? And that way it can take the load. A lot of times people build a house, and normally they would build a house and they would pour your patios and things on retrospect after, you know, that would be the follow-up stuff. But in this case, I found it was best to pour it first for this very reason, because there is this structure that cantilevers out off the floor up here and without columns. So it's been very effective, and you see we have really utilized it down through here. It's a plus, and it made building a whole lot easier. They had something solid to measure off of to get exact measurements on. But it wasn't 100% because you still had gaps back here where the landscaping, the flower beds and stuff were all going. And up above, up here with this form here, from that form to this form, I noticed it to be a little bit lower. And the form down there on the corner to that form on the other end, I noticed to be quite a bit lower. Now, the guys built it level. They built it level. It was straight, but it has sunk on the back side, and it's putting a bow in the cocoa lumber and the plywood up there, because they had to put these in loose material. They had to bury down, put them in loose material, and as we're just walking and doing our daily thing, walking those forms up there, it has worked it down, and that was a major concern of mine. So we are going to get it raised back up, and we're going to have to improvise something super solid to support that concrete when we do that pour. And now imagine this, if we had rushed this job, if we had rushed and say like boom, just knocked it out really fast and poured concrete, and we did not catch this right here, and that concrete would have poured up above, can you imagine how much it would have smashed down? And there is where your problem would have lied, right there. But because we took our time, we've been up here working around it, we have time to find these flaws. We have time to find little things that need to be adjusted, that need to be a little level of attention brought to. So it's not about speed. You know, young folk, they're always, and I was a young folk not long ago, and just a blink of an eye, I was a young folk. And to some people, I'm still a young folk. But as you get on up in years, you just realize how quick life passes by, how quick. And savor these moments, savor them, don't be in a hurry, savor every bit of it, get it right, be proud of it for all the years afterwards when you're done, because you know you took your time and you did it right. It's not a race, it's not the end of the world. And then don't just think of yourself, think of the endurance that this can offer a family for years to come. When structures around it come and go and get knocked down and all of this, something like this right here, when you build something great, will stand it'll stand like a monument in time. It absolutely will. So when you go and you look at great structures around the world, and I'm not saying this is no great structure at all, but I'm just saying, if you go look at great structures that's been around a long time, there was a lot of care put into that building. A lot of care, and people honor those structures. They don't honor something that was slapped up, thrown up just to fill a temporary quick need, you know, just to say it's there, look how fast they built my house, you know. And then later you're complaining, there's this wrong with my house and there's this wrong and those guys didn't do it right, but you were in a hurry and that's what you got. So lessons right there, lessons. and take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Again, why I took over building my own house. So when we built this garage, same down there on that fence, the same people that were supposed to be these. You can just let them do it and go kick your heels up and enjoy life. You know, they know exactly what they're doing. Oh, they built sea captains' houses everywhere. Let me show you the work here. This is what drove me to the stop. We took a break and just let the garage sit here while I regrouped my thoughts and decided that, and talked with the locals and with the officials up here at the city and all, that can I, under my permit, just build my house myself without a contractor, without any of that. And thank God that I stopped and did that. Let me show you this work here. So this is the steel that was from my columns in my garage. And I want you to look at this nice even work. Ignore this bent one. Look at this random one out here all along. No spacing, no nothing. Look at this, just random in and out. Then in the midst of it, just a piece of 10 mm sticking up. Look at the back here. Look at the spacing on that. They should have had stirrups all the way up going past the deck. When they poured this, that would have held all this straight, but they didn't. And this is why all the work stopped here in the past, because of this stuff right here. This one, the same, nothing straight. This one's a little better than the other one. Nothing on the ends here. It's just random. These here, they got a little narrow spacing. Then for this column, the steel is just 6 pieces and totally different with some 12 mm. But at least it's semi-spaced. It's better than the others. At least it's spaced. Then this one, once again, just random. Just totally random. Look at this one setting way inside the others. Now, if any of you wonder, that steel's still in great shape. It's had epoxy paint on it. It is actually just the epoxy paint is what's coming off right there. Underneath, the steel's still really great. It was the work right there, numerous things that just stopped me, my cast concrete walls, they were smooth. I left and went to the city one day. This is on the garage. Left and went to the city one day and come back, and they had already chipped with a hammer and a concrete nail, literally thousands and thousands of that pecking to chip it up so they could render the walls. I pulled up, I was in a frantic heart attack. I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that? This house did not need rendering. The walls were already ready to finish. But now I have to render them. And now I got to spend money and time and concrete, you know, cement to make that rendering mix, to re-smooth the walls back to what they were before you just pecked them with tens of thousands of pecks all the way around it. He must have got every guy working here to get busy pecking while I was gone. Some people will look at that as extending the job for job security. Then where they did try to render, the concrete was still so hard because we're casting this really hard. The rendering did not want to stay stuck. Plus, they were putting it wet rendering right onto completely dry concrete casted wall. And of course, it was not bonding to it because the moisture of the dry concrete was just sucking the other moisture out of the render, and the render would crack, and I could literally grab it in places and just peel it right off the wall. I couldn't believe it. And so the garage was built about maybe a year and a half before this house, and that and some fencing here was my testing, my proving ground. And me being a builder myself and seeing that kind of work, I had to stop it all. one of the guys, he got instantly mad when I complained about the rendering falling off. He grabbed his bag and his tools and he headed right down the street to never be seen again. They didn't like me. Another one is around here and we talk cordially, but I know he don't like me. The feeling might be mutual, but I mean, I like them as a person. They're nice people, but their work ethic was not what I wanted. They're nice people. If I just seen them cordially and never had them working for me, I mean, everything would be hunky-dory. But being that we did have a little, what they call here in the Philippines, grout. There's a little bit of grout between us because I spoke up and complained about their work, and they took it very personal, very offensive. Of course, they want to say, oh, the Kano don't know what he's talking about. This is how we do it in the Philippines, was the words I heard and told to my wife. That Kano. And well, not everyone has that attitude here. Not everyone has that attitude. You gotta find the right people that respect you and you respect them, and you get what we got here now. You got harmony here. And if I correct them on something, there's no words spit back at me. There's no sand back in my eyes. There's no backbiting. They just correct it. Yes, sir. Life's good. Life is good. Yeah. So don't accept bad. Don't accept it. Well, I'm making another little variance on my plans. It's lunchtime, and while everyone's away, I'll tell you about my little variance on the plans. So let's begin here. There's a staircase that comes up right over there, and that comes up onto the front porch or balcony there. Front doors right here. Then this little overhang, this little terrace that comes around right here, comes around the house, goes all the way down the left side, all the way around the back, and all the way ending over there to the far right. So we'll come back now back around to the front again. So here's this little pathway where you see this still sticking up. There'll be a wall right there. There's this little pathway coming around, and when it comes around to right here, you see where I have that little wood nailed down for a visual? There will be a staircase begin right here, and that staircase will start climbing up, going to the roof deck. Get back here at a distance and look at that. So right there where you see that cantilever beam, a staircase will begin up right there. There's another column. It'll go up and come out onto the roof deck. And that staircase going up on the outside there, it's always been in our plans. That is up here for an escape. That's by the fire rules here in our municipality, to have a fire escape, an emergency escape. You know, they call it fire escape, but it's emergency, whatever the emergency is, earthquake, to get down off the roof deck fast and have an alternative way besides the interior way. That's the alternative way, is off the outside. And our municipality has adopted some strict codes on these things, and I like it. And they were happy that I had already incorporated that in the plans, and that my draftsman Elvin had worked on that with me, that have these additional fire pass. And they were honest that some plans had been approved without it, or they didn't include it. Yeah, they passed some of the plans, but they were happy that it was already there. They didn't have to say nothing. There wasn't a fight about it, an argument about it, because I agree, safety, safety. So let's go right there, steps going up, boom, they come out right there at that column on the outside of it. And that is a wall right where those white boxes are to the inside. So this is outside, the staircase is outside at those cantilever beams there. So right over past that wood, going out to that other form, and allowing for the thickness of a handrail, I'll have about 2.5 foot to bypass those stairs and go on around the rest of the house here and to the back. So that is what's happening there. Now, I know I said I'm making an adjustment, and the adjustment is is that, so I'm gonna have these steps going up outside, right? And it's gonna be hollow underneath them. Now, this is my master bedroom and my master bath and closet area here. Well, the bowl was gonna be there, but there was gonna be that staircase there, and the bowl was way in from there and all. It was gonna eat up a lot of floor space inside. It was gonna change a lot of things and dynamics by it being there, how I could put my shower, how I could put my sinks, the space I was gonna have. It was really gonna affect the size of my walk-in closet. And I never was happy with that. So I decided to do one simple adjustment. Underneath that steps, they're already gonna be very high by the time they get from down there going up. They're already very high by that point where you see my paper. I've outlined in little scraps of wood where a wall is going to be. A little wall coming out, made you a visual here. A little wall going down through there, making the footprint of the steps. I can put my toilet right there. Put a little 2-foot door on it. Actually, I should put, I think, for a 30-inch door right here. I put me a little wood block here and here. You can see where a jamb would be. Go into there, and the toilet have its own little room right in there, and with a drain in the floor and a window facing out the side. For once again, I don't have to have an exhaust fan to do that. I don't have to burn electricity, keep up somebody left the fan on or didn't turn it on or all of that. And I can close that door, and honestly, I can just leave that window open nearly always, and let that room there always have a fresh air. So that's what I'm gonna do. Meanwhile, over here, the guys are wrapping in on the form here now. I took these benders right here earlier. These two here that we made a long while back. These are homemade tools here. And I got in here and bent and straightened up some on this rebar. It's just ridiculous, I tell you. They should have had stirrups like that right there, holding that steel in place above grade. This is why I took this all over myself. And so when I build my home, no more of this nonsense. After the garage, it ended the nonsense. But bent the steel here and got it straightened up enough that it'll work and get stirrups. This is probably more steel than it ever need anyway. It's going to be plenty strong. I want to show you guys something else. If you're concerned like, man, your steel looks so rusty, I'm gonna show you something here. Man, they actually sold me really quality steel. Hope I don't get copyrighted and neighbors are jamming out on music. This is that steel, and even right there where I bent it, it's back there as shiny as the steel above it right here. I mean, it's not shiny, but it is still just pure, clean steel. All we have to do, what you're seeing is epoxy primer that I put on here in the past to protect these. And when we knock it off, it is nice steel underneath there. This is new steel, and I'm telling you, it just knocks off clean thanks to that epoxy primer we preserved it with. Steel's in really good shape. Soon, I'm gonna run into a problem, and that is my solar panels here. Yep, my little small set from a little well pump right there, I run just a 12-volt system on. All this is just sitting up here temporary, braced on bamboo, wire tied to bamboo. I mean, it is ghetto-fied up here, but it produces us electricity all day, every day. And soon it's going to be a problem of they're going to be in the way to build. They're going to be in the way, and we got to figure out a solution of what to do with them safely in case a typhoon popped up. We can't do it no willy-nilly. We got to do it right. So we don't want these things flying away through the air. But soon we're gonna have to move them because we got to cast walls all up here. All this is getting cast in the walls, and as well there'll be walls getting casted over there. So I've got to decide what to do with them. Huh, Uncle, what about you? Huh? June? So there you have it. I did not video the minute little work that we're working on. It's just those little monotonous things, as you might want to call it, those little monotonous things. But today did have something else rewarding. The little sweet things in life. One of our wonderful subscribers that has been, you know, living the sea life for years, sent in a comment on a video I did. She sent in a comment about taking that crab and making crab lumpia. I love that idea, and I cannot wait to do it. Told Mel, let's get some crab and let's make some crab lumpia, and let's video it and share it to you all. That's a cool idea, crab lumpia. Maybe some of it might get done now before I do. Tell me how it turned out. Great idea. Crab lumpia. Sounds wonderful. Or spicy crab lumpia. And put some chilies in it. That sounds even better. Well, I want to shoot my end of the day video, but I had to stop the karaoke queen first. Is that right, karaoke queen?
Yes, King.
It's been hard to vlog here. The neighbors today, nothing wrong with it, they have a right. They were over jamming out. Next door over here at the White House, they were cleaning outside, sweeping, and jamming out to some really good music. I liked it. Then, of course, here we have the karaoke queen, the diva. She's doing her diva thing out here.
Well, it's Saturday, not
Yeah, so the woes of a vlogger. The woes of a vlogger is called copyright strike. Hey, little buddy. Uh-oh, Melinda's got her backup singers on the way. Yeah. The backup singers right here.